everybody, I'm Captain Corey Flowers, and this is Coffee with a Cop. So the Greensboro Police Department is a great place to work because it's a large organization. I tell young folks all the time, when they're looking to get into law enforcement specifically, if you can choose between a smaller agency and a larger agency, you should go with the larger agency, mostly just due to more opportunities. In a smaller agency, the same officers may end up doing parking tickets and writing speeding tickets and also investigations. But when you have an agency as large as ours, you can effectively have 3 to 5 careers over the course of your 25 or 30-year career. Every three or four years, you may be a bike cop for a while, and then you may get interested in school resource and do that for a couple years. Then you want to go into investigations, and perhaps then you may want to seek promotion and become a sergeant over a squad. So the larger that the agency is, like ours, you have tons of new opportunities. We've got all the special teams that you see on movies and TV shows, SWAT team, bomb team, negotiators, and so anything that you may be into, you can find in a larger organization like ours. What led me to a career in law enforcement specifically? Honestly, I would like to have some really impressive answer. A career path that I honed from a young age, it's just not the case. When I was graduating from college in 1999, it was a curiosity, and I said I will investigate that career until it's not fun, and then I'll do something else. And now I find myself 24 years later, and I still think this is the funnest job. I, like most people, had at least a deep-seated fantasy of being a cop. Almost everybody's thought about this job. That's why all of the movies and all of the TV shows are specifically always and only about cops and doctors. Everybody wants this job anyway, and I thought that'd be neat for a while. And so I said, we'll try it, and when it becomes not fun, I'll do something else. And it's still, to this day, I think it's the coolest job there is, and I have more fun today than I did 24 years ago. So here's my piece of advice for a young person, at least investigating the possibility of law enforcement. And I've been telling folks this for a couple years now, being involved in some of the recruiting efforts. Give it a try. There's absolutely zero negative that can come from giving it a try. Here in the Greensboro Police Department, we will pre-hire you before your academy starts, so you'll have a job before your academy even starts. You'll enter a 7-month training program that is fully paid, and you leave that training program being certified as a cop anywhere in the state. And then we have one of the highest, most competitive salary structures in the state and the best patrol schedule that exists in the United States. Our folks work 4 days and then they're off 4 days all year. There's zero downs to that whole plan of at least trying it out. You can do it for 2 or 3 years, and if you want to exit the profession, you have amassed stories, the types of which they make movies about. You will have expanded your life experience, and whatever is your next challenge that you want to dive into, you will be exponentially better prepared for that next chapter. So I tell folks all the time, give it a shake. I mean, you will have wasted time doing worse things, in my opinion. All right, the requirements for joining our police academy, of course, they're strenuous, but not. We want to hire and find the right people for our organization. But to enter the police academy, you have to be 19 and a half years old, so you end up being 20 at the time of graduation. You have to have a GED or a high school equivalent degree. A college degree is not mandatory, but it certainly makes you more competitive in the process. Every applicant goes through a fairly thorough background investigation, but the key point is this: a lot of times people think, I've got a minor drug charge from years ago, I've got a DWI charge from a couple years ago. We take every single case on a case-by-case specific basis and look into it. There are, honestly, other than felonies, there are very, very few criminal charges that will just discontinue you in the process. So we tell folks all the time, don't say no to yourself. Apply, let us look into it. You get plenty of time to explain your background, explain your history with a background investigator. And we vote, our selection committee votes a couple times during the hiring process, very specifically case by case on each applicant. So never say no to yourself. Apply, and you'll be surprised to find yourself in our ranks. I remember when I had been here maybe 2 years. It was a lazy Sunday morning. I was on West Market Street and I stopped a car, a large American car, for weaving in its lane, and went up and talked to the driver, a little old lady, very kind, very sweet, gray hair, large glasses, beads around her neck. And I started talking to her and I said, "Ma'am, are you okay? You're swerving in the lanes. And she said, yeah, I'm having trouble, manipulating this big car. I said, can I have your license? I'm gonna make sure everything's okay. She handed me a license and I glanced at it, and the picture on the license was a extremely tan, extremely much younger female with a large brown, like beehive style haircut with dark aqua eyeshadow and very bright lipstick. And I started looking at it, and then I realized this is hers. However, this license is about 3 generations of license ago, and it had expired in like 1979, something like that. So I went back to the car and I said, ma'am, please, tell me please that you have another license. This one expired when I was 2, and it's just not gonna work. This is not gonna be good. And she said, I've been meaning to do that. Honestly, I think a lot of times the TV shows and the cops of the world do a disservice to our job. I wish that people in our community, particularly who were investigating this profession, I just wish they knew that it's 1, extremely fulfilling, 2, you're just solving problems. All right. A lot of times we watch these shows and you're thinking, I could never do that because the car chases and we're dodging bullets, and that is a very small portion of our job. But the vast majority of our job is just talking to people continually throughout the day and just solving problems. It's humans helping humans, and it's extremely fulfilling. And I just wish folks would get more of a glimpse of that. It's not exactly the part of the job that we give out medals for, going in and, refereeing domestic disputes, or, talking to folks on the side of the road when they've had a crash and helping them work through how to get their car to a tow lot. Minor problems like that we solve all day, every day, is just the most fulfilling part of our job. And I always tell folks, if you can help folks solve their problems, you can do this job. You'd be great.